Madam Speaker, the American people have spoken. They have fired you and have chosen to end the Democrats' one-party rule throughout our government. The days of this chamber being treated as Pelosi's house instead of the people's house are over.
That bitch has been fired. Welcome back to the Prepared Mind channel, where we satire it like it is. We tell it like it is, but it's all satire. It's all, whoa, yeah. We wouldn't dare tell the truth, would we? Well, I'll tell you what, it's for you to decide. You to decide. All I'm going to do is do some talking here. But wait a moment. But wait, there's more. Guess what? On this show, if you're a member of the preparedmind.club or a member of subscribestar.com, both of them are $2 a month. Just $2 a month. Sign up there. You can join us Monday through Friday for free, right? And get your statements, your comments, your questions, your thoughts right on the screen, because I'll do my monologue and then you'll do your Q&A with me. I tell you, folks, we have to stay ahead of the game. And I'll tell you what, I'm here early. Improvise, adapt, overcome. That's right. Get on early. Well, we got to stay ahead of these creeps. That's kind of why I'm doing this. Also, I have a charity fundraiser I'll be attending. I'll be leaving the bunker before it's 0 dark 30 and attending that. So yet another thing piled on top of the things I do. It's because I give a shit. I care. And you just can't care enough sometimes. Anyways, you guys have been absolutely fabulous, terrific. I don't even know how many people are here that showed up early. Let's see. Let me check the comments. And we got Nancy Keg in the house. Woo! Okay, very good. Everyone's trickling in, or should be trickling in, once they see that live thing. Anyways, we're live right now. And if you join us, you're good. So let's do this. Get your questions in, your comment, your statement, your predictions, your thoughts, and you can be with me live here. And we reach out to 80,000 subscribers on YouTube. That's just on the Prepared Mind. We also have the Prepared Mind BC, John the Prepared Mind, and Prepared Mind John, you know, because we have fucking backup on our backup to our backup. Now, we also have YouTube. We also have Instagram. We also have Facebook. We're making a difference, all of us. Now, let us do this. Let's get into some shit that's happening. This is near and dear to all of us. Chickens, eggs, egg supplies through the roof, right? The cost of eggs. And they tell us it's because of avian flu. Well, if that's the case, if eggs are more expensive, shouldn't chickens be more expensive? And it doesn't seem to be any more expensive than the other inflationary rises we've been feeling in the food world. So this egg laying thing, this cost of eggs, fascinating. Tractor Supply Company. That's right. Tractor Supply Company sells feed for sheep, cow, hog, chicken, horse, you name it. Right? Well, their chicken feed is reportedly causing chickens to stop laying eggs. So before I get to the wildly speculative facts, let's just say this. There are other companies out there selling chicken feed, and they're reporting that their customers are not seeing a reduction in egg laying normal or more than what would be normally expected during the winter months. But people using Tractor Supply feed and other feed, guess what? Chickens have not just reduced, but they're seeing complete stoppages in some case. Well, here comes the wild, woo, put on your tinfoil hat speculation. That's right. Got to get the guns out to get your tinfoil hat in place. Get this. The board of Tractor Supply has ties to the World Economic Forum and Jeffrey Epstein, who is dead. Isn't that just freaking fascinating? Makes me go, Makes me wish I was Arsenio Hall to go, right? Yeah, that's a big These people will stop at nothing. Every single little sector of our lives. as I texted Penelope today. I said, hey, there doesn't seem to be any sector of our lives that these people aren't willing to get into. All they have to do, they get on the phone. They go, hello? I go, let me talk to the big boss there, Tractor Supply. Big boss gets on the phone. He says, you know who this is, right? This is Code Man Red X with the World Economic Forum. Chickens are to stop laying eggs. Make it happen. Bam, that's all they got to do. Does it take really more than that? Hey, Bill, this is Bob. We want chickens to stop laying eggs. That's all I have to say. Gobble, gobble. Cluck, cluck. Moo, moo. Get her done. Seriously. I mean, am I way off base? How hard is it to get someone to do something for you? In my world, I pick up the phone. I'm like, John, this is John. I want you to show up on the site at the job. You know the address. Bring a hammer. Bring a saw. And we'll make stuff happen. I don't have to tell them exactly what's going on. They just know they show up and stuff happens. We shouldn't be surprised when they say, chicken eggs. Stop that shit. As if they don't know precisely what hormones cause chickens to lay eggs. Like they don't know precisely what proteins are necessary, what nutrition is needed, what enzymes must be present, etc., 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 for animals to have properly working digestive systems, reproductive systems, and health. They know. They've known, folks, they've known this shit since the 1930s. Since the 1930s, they've known all the nutritional necessary ingredients, not just for animals, but for humans as well. They know what we need. Now, let us go to our second discussion point for today on this wacky, wild Wednesday. Guess what? There's this website out there. It's called the Gateway Pundit. So famous that even Rush Limbaugh used to quote them. And guess what they are doing now? That's right. The Gateway Pundit is now echoing the Prepared Mind channel. This is what they say. This is their headline. World War III is on! Exclamation point. And they have a World War III update. Germany joins Joe Biden and sends tanks to Ukraine to escalate the war with Russia. That's their headline. You don't have to be the prepared mind. You don't have to be the prophet of prepping to see what the hell's going on. You don't. But I'm glad to be that guy. And I want to thank Mr. T for coming up with that slogan. The prophet of prepping. Teaching you prepping. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense. And a plan. How hard is that? Tell friends. Go to this internet address up here, right there, right up there, the old URL. Type it in at the Prepared Mind on YouTube. And you'll figure out real fucking fast what's going on and why you need to have food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, and a means of self-defense. It's not a mystery. Not at all. It's not a mystery at all. It's pretty simple once you start taking a look at it. And this morning on Zero Dark 30, I was talking about the fundamentals, the basics. Let's not forget the basics, why we're here. It comes down to all you got to do is be thinking, look around and you'll see it. And then we help others. And then we get prepared. And then we prep to action. The plan is simple, what we do here. It's not about fear porn. I don't have to do that. The government does that for us. The science geeks, the doctors do that for us. The military does that for us. Well, who is the military? Right? Who is the military? Well, get this, folks. Joe Biden, Potato Joe, let's go Brandon, Gigi Biden, dumbass in chief, jackass extraordinaire Joe Biden cannot remember the name of his own Secretary of Defense. Folks, he's making remarks about sending Ukraine our M1A1 Abrams tanks. and almost calls the Secretary of Defense Speaker. This is supposed to be the fucking guy in charge of the military, you know, and the president can't recall Lloyd the Loser Austin's title, name, etc. We're entering a phase of war, World War III, where it's becoming obvious to big-time media like the Gateway Pundit that it is on. And the president of the United States, who wants to send Patriot missiles, who wants to send Abrams tanks, and God knows what else over to Ukraine to antagonize, to promote, and to escalate war with Russia, the most powerful atomic weapon country on the planet. Don't kid yourself, folks. They're not a nobody. Their economy is much smaller, but they've had atomic weapons, nuclear weapons, for decades, and decades, and they still have them. And they continue to develop them as well as their hypersonic missiles. They have kept their nuclear submarine fleet. Russia is not a pissant country like Iran or Iraq or Afghanistan or North Korea or Lebanon. They're a real country, folks, and they're risking real war. And this fucking guy cannot even remember his Secretary of Defense. In fact, there was somebody, can't remember who it was, just the other day goes, can we get a competency test on the president, please? Unbelievable. Now, let's see. I picked on the government. Yeah. Now it's time to pick on none other than Gil Bates. That's right. We use some code words for code names around here some days. Well, we've been having an egg crisis. So what did we learn yesterday? And I can't even remember if I talked about it. I think I did. That they're creating fake eggs. I'll just tell you right now, Bill Gates has invested in fake eggs. That's right. Plant protein simulated eggs. Fake eggs. This same fucking clown comes up with poisonous jabs, predicts pandemonium in a pandemic. And now, folks, Bill Gates is funding a startup corporation to stop cows from burping methane to combat climate change. Did you know that cows are causing climate change by burping and, yeah, of course, farting? Right? What else has Bill Gates funded, exported, and promoted? Death. That's right. He loves the Jim Jones juice. He loves that technology. He's been pushing his technology into third world countries in Africa and also in the country of India, and caused numerous harm and damage to the reproductive systems of many people, as well as death. This guy loves the poisonous jibber jabber, folks. He loves the Jim Jones juice. So anything he touches, I do not trust. I mean, what reason has this fucker given us to trust him? He's so enamored with death and disease that he invented an operating system that's subject to viruses. Can you fucking believe that? Welcome to Microsoft. Here's our new thing. It's Microsoft, the operating system. It's called Windows. And the next thing we know is you better have an antivirus. It's like, what? Are you kidding me? 408-180. 408-180. Remember when someone could tell you a telephone number and you could say it? I just did 8 digits. But telephone number was 7 digits. And the area codes are like, okay, there's this area code and that area code. It's just a couple area codes. Is it the one that starts with a 5 or the one that starts with a 2 or the one that starts with a 4? But you could remember those 7-digit codes. And then we got smartphones. We got cell phones. And everyone's programmed into it. So it's like you got speed dial, caller ID. You don't have to remember shit. Well, I've discovered that I can still remember numbers, right? You just say it a couple times and you remember it. 408 408-180. Anyways, here we are. Oh my gosh, I'm going to sneeze. Cerveza sneeze. I ended up going up into an attic, a dusty, musty attic, and it causes coughing and sneezing. Awful. If the fascists of the world decide that they're going to go after Swedish people, I am not going to be able to be Anne Frank and hide between the fucking floorboards. I'm going to just have to go out on the street and deal with these fucking people. Just like that. Now, cow farts, climate change. You're not going to believe this, except you have no choice but to believe what I'm going to tell you. There's this guy. He's the Secretary of Transportation. That's right. Pete Buttgagger. Pete Buttigieg. Right? That guy. This is what he had to say as Transportation Secretary. Quote, every transportation decision we make is a climate decision. You woke piece of shit. It's almost the same as saying, Jane, you ignorant slut. Woke decisions come first. That's our first consideration. That's the consideration we give everything, and that determines how the outcome of the question is. We always go with climate. Climate first. They're admitting it, folks. There is no science needed. Welcome to those who are arriving late. You get to go do 2 laps around the track and come on back. Every decision should not be about climate. It should be about humanity, is what it should be about. Humanity. That's what it should center around, humans. But just the other day, we had a medical journal come out and say, well, humans just aren't that important. Or at least they're no more important than animals. Decisions shouldn't revolve around the quality of life you and I enjoy. It shouldn't center around the productivity of our society, of our country. It shouldn't revolve around gross domestic product or the satisfaction and happiness of the people. It should be a climate decision. So this is the Secretary of Transportation. We also have, the Secretary of the Interior. We got Secretary of Finance. We got Secretary of the Treasury. We got Secretary of the Military, right? Every decision, I guess, is going to need to be a climate decision first. And after we make the decision for what's best for the climate, then maybe we'll consider humanity. That is the problem, folks. This is the shit it's the fan signal that you should wake up on. Seriously, they don't give a fuck about me or you or any of us. When they, the elitists, step outside, they don't want to see another human. They don't want to hear another human. They don't want to smell another human. And they certainly don't even want to have to think about any other humans. We are approaching the late 1700s as far as the elitist attitude goes towards the rest of humanity. Their fucking attitude is the peasants. Who gives a shit? We don't need no stinking peasants. Unfucking believable. Every decision, every transportation decision we make is a climate decision. This coming from a man who thinks he should put a baby on his nipple and let the baby suck on him. Literally. Chest feeding. That's really good for the baby. Talk about fucking disappointment, right? Where's the food? Oh, it's okay. This is special for the baby. No, it's for you, you sick fuck. Unbelievable. I've had it with these fucking people. People like fucking Buttgagger who pulls that kind of shit. And then you got this. Super whore herself, Madonna. That's right. She has now mocked Jesus and portrayed herself in a blasphemous Last Supper photo shoot for none other than Vanity Fair. Surprise, surprise, surprise. Anyone remember that reference? That's right, Gomer Pyle, right? Jim Neighbors, who was in the closet his whole life, thankfully. At least they had the decency back then to stay in the fucking closet. Anyways, what a horror. Madonna steps out, not like a virgin. No, when she skydives, folks, she whistles in bass, if you catch that reference. But yeah, that's who these people are. It is all about mocking all that is holy, all that is special, important, decent, etc. All right. How we doing there, Ooman? Thumbs up if you can hear me. Up, 2 thumbs up. Ooman's on the case. In the house. All right. Once again, we got people joining us late because I came in early. And we got Heidi. Just one Heidi, folks. I just give her 3 Heidis because it's funny. And she's a great person. Now, it is an improvise, adapt, and overcome kind of day. We really need to start doing that. I'm not chastising anybody. I'm just saying, hey, I'm up in my fucking game. I really am. I'm up in the game. And talking about up in the game, another John is upping his game. John Kirby of the Biden administration has to step in and pinch hit for Karine Jean-Pierre. That's right. Karine Jean-Pierre sucked at the beginning of her job, and John Kirby constantly would come in. He's an old white guy. He's old hat, old Democrat. He's the most experienced liar they have. And when Karine Jean-Pierre starts to fail at her job, they bring in John Kirby. So what did he come in for today? He came in and pinch hitted, bink, and he bunted. That's really what he does. He just kind of bunts it, bunt, and he starts running for first. I made it. I lied to them. Biden's classified documents. This scandal that won't go away. It still leads me to believe that there's more going on here than we're allowed to see. Pretty obviously, there's more going on than we're allowed to see because we have to read the tea leaves. We have to kind of, peek through the fucking hedges, which is difficult to see what the hell is going on. And we see pieces, parts, and fragments. But when things are getting nasty, when things are getting bad, they'll bring out someone like John Kirby to catch the press off guard and start lying to them. So Peter Doocy, jump on him. Don't fucking let him get away with any of this bullshit. Right? When they're bringing in different spokespeople, they're hiding something. And there's a lot to hide here. What is going on? I mean, when they ask Pence, hey, Pence, we need you to come out and pretend like, yeah, you've got secret documents too, buddy. Let the world know, yeah, this kind of shit happens all the time. Let the media cover for you. Don't worry, we won't prosecute you. And that's right. Merrick Garland said, I don't know if we need to prosecute or investigate or even take a look at. Former Vice President, Republican, Michael Pence, right? The Lord of the Flies has reared his head again. I mean, that should have been a clue for me when the fly was buzzing him. I was like, oh, this is not a good sign. Fucking fly landed on his head. It was like, okay, we better start paying attention to this shit. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Hey, Mikey G, he's in the house. Get your questions in. I needed to leave the miraculous, I don't even know how I want to phrase or define the bunker here. The comfortable, safe, nearly bomb-proof bunker. I have to go do some charity work or do a fundraiser. I'm going to a fundraiser. And so I needed to get in and out of the bunker and head back out into the world and see what the hell happens in the end of the day. There's so much to do, folks, and so little time. Over in the United Kingdom, that would be England to you and me, jolly old England. Well, guess what? Their government wants to end Cerveza bug Jim Jones boosters for people who are healthy under the age of 50. This is fascinating. What about people who are unhealthy under the age of 50. You're going to give the Jim Jones juice to them? Seriously. They're already unhealthy, and you give something to them that causes strokes, heart attacks, blood clots, heart enlargement, neurological problems, and fucking sends people to the hospital, and it destroys their immune system. So I don't know, I guess when the unhealthy people die from the Jim Jones juice, you go, well, hey, they were unhealthy already. Don't blame us. You know, the Pfizer guys like this, the Moderna guys like this, AstraZeneca guys like this. I mean, give me a fucking break. Well, the UK has decided to end that for people under 50. In the Jim Jones juice. But over here in America, yeah, that's right, only in America. I just told you, what was it, yesterday? That the Food and Drug Administration is pushing for more Jim Jones juice right here in the United States. Remember when they were like, okay, only adults. And then, okay, now we're going to do teenagers. We need to get teenagers on this shit. And then, okay, now we're going to do children. We're going to do grade school children. And then it was like, we can do infants down to 2 years old. And then they were like, let's do infants down to 6 months old. Let's give everyone this shit. It's untested, unverified. It's a fucking death shot. Let's give it to everyone. And so they did. Just fucking mind numbing that they pushed it that hard. And they're still pushing it. And then some countries are like, hey, what is going on here? I'll tell you about that now. Once again, folks, every single facet, every single avenue in your life. At work, they're coming to kill you. At play, they're coming to kill you. Right? With the food, they're trying to kill us. With the medicine, they're trying to kill us. They're trying to start World War fucking III, and they're trying to start social unrest here in this country. Unfucking believable. Thank you, Mr. Skylight, for sending me more stuff. Folks, the doctors that are good are out there fighting for you. And I'll tell you what, if you're on the preparedmind.club, Jolene can hook you up. Absolutely set you up with information, right, about the Jim Jones juice. Everything that's going on. We have articles. We have all kinds of data, information, facts for you to learn about, read, etc. Right? There's so much to go through every single day. So much going through. I mean, there's so much it's hard to keep up with, right? Are you ready? There are 300,000 excess deaths in the United States since 2020. 300,000. That's 1/3 people. And they're saying these are non-cerveza bug related. Not the cerveza bug. The cerveza bug didn't kill 300,000 people. Something else did. Gee whiz. I wonder what changed. Paging Dr. Fauci. Dr. Fauci, there's some questions that need to be answered. Are we going to get the answers, folks? There's doctors out there fighting for us. There's doctors out there trying to fucking kill us. Which doctor are you going to believe? The good doctor or the witch doctor? The doctor's passing off eye of newt, wing of bat, bunghole of dog. Really, folks. Seriously. That is who is out there. Now, speaking of people who are like a dog's bunghole, Germany, that's right, the country Germany is now joining Joe Biden of the U.S. idiot cartel. And Germany is also sending tanks to Ukraine. Remember when Poland threatened them? Oh, yeah, that was just fucking yesterday. Poland was saying, send in those Leopard tanks, or we're not going to like you anymore. So Germany heeded the warning, and now they're sending tanks to Ukraine. So all of Europe is against Russia. The United States is against Russia. Canada is against Russia. Australia is against Russia. Japan is against Russia. What about Central and South America? What about Africa? What about Asia? What about the Middle East? What about the Orient? Right? There's a lot more world than just the United States and Europe. Between Russia, China, Africa, and South America, there are an awful lot of countries. And did I say Asia? That's right, Asia as well. The continent of Asia. There's a lot of countries that don't agree with this shit. Right? Now, Germany and Poland and the US and the UK, right? These dumb fucks want to earn their place in history, folks, as total assholes. I am becoming more concerned on a daily basis that we are going to experience a nuclear weapon exchange. How dramatic it is, I have no clue. How many will be dropped, sent? I don't know. Will Russia drop nukes in Ukraine? Will Russia send nukes into Europe? Or will they fire off some EMPs? It's very, very, folks, disheartening, discouraging, and frightening. I'm glad that I'm 53. I'm glad that I benefit from an intelligent mind. I'm glad that I experienced the threat and risk of World War III nuclear style as a child, because it prepared me for today so I can understand what it is they're threatening us with. They used to show us horror films, folks, of nuclear weapons going off and the terror and the horrific death that will follow. To scare us kids back then, hate Ronald Reagan because look at what he wants. Ronald Reagan was not starting a war with Russia. He didn't. Joe Biden is. Unbelievable. If you want to get a look at, atomic weapons, nuclear bombs, right, war, I don't know, watch Terminator 2, right, Judgment Day, where they have quite a dramatic nuclear weapons scene in there. Now, a video of Ray Epps from January 6th has been leaked. That's right, leaked video. And the question is the government doctoring the video to cover up Ray Epps while at the same time trying to incriminate the Proud Boys? Right? There's supposed to be 14,000 hours of government video surveillance and security footage. Where is it, Speaker McCarthy? I don't want to hear that you're investigating some no-name chicken shit politician for some bullshit he pulled. We want the video, 14,000 hours. But this video has been leaked of Ray Epps, who was never arrested, who was exonerated by the FBI, who was excused away by the media. Right? Ray Epps should be hounded every day of his life by alternative media, politely asking him questions, not getting in his face, not interrupting his life. But if he wants to come out in public, they should be talking to him and going, do you work for the FBI? Did you work for the FBI? Have you ever worked for the FBI? What were you saying on January 5th and January 6th? Why weren't you arrested on January 7th, 8th, 9th, or any day since then? The government is hiding, folks. That's hiding a lot. Now understand this. Slow leaks, and we've been getting a lot of leaks. Slow leaks can become raging rivers. And I think that you and I and everyone in the Prepared Mind Network and everyone across the YouTube fruited plain should be writing their congressmen, writing their senators, email, snail mail, phone call, comments through their websites, text messages, fucking smoke signals, message on an arrow, carrier pigeons, hell, carrier beavers, right? Whatever it takes, and tell them to fire Chris Wray of the FBI. He needs to be fired. And then after we fire him, we can decide, you know, if he needs to be, right, if he needs to be what? Investigated and prosecuted for crimes. Okay, well, we got people checking in at the normal time here. That's right, we started early. You missed a lot. You're going to have to first get your questions in down below. Ooman is on the scene checking stuff out. And I've got another 25 minutes with you, and then I'm going to go to a fundraising function. I want to help people locally, and this is how we do it. I want to help people internationally, and this is how we do it. Folks, there's so much to do. And I know all of you are helping. You help here. So here we go. Let's do this. There's been a lot of question about President Trump. Whose side is he on? Does he really know what the hell is going on? Is he being lied to constantly or just by certain people? Right? He had Dr. Atlas, good guy. Right? He had, who else? Who else in his administration? Peter Navarro stepped up and bitch slapped Dr. Fauci intellectually. He was like, bam, feel the back of my hand, and told him off. But Trump still continues to confound me. Why is he defending this piece of shit? He's now defending Mike Pence after the classified documents are supposedly found at Pence's Indiana home. Why is he defending this piece of shit? Pence had a job to do. He had a constitutional duty. He had proper government authority to not, back in 2020, let the show go on January 6th. Yet he folded. Nancy played her games. The DC police played their games. The FBI had their informants, their agents provocateur. They had their people all set up for a show, a false flag using patriots. And then since then, they have arrested and incarcerated free Americans who did not break the law, unless you want to say it was illegal of them to stand on public property that they were told that they could stand on by the police. And it's illegal of them to be shot at by the police. And it's illegal of them to have flashbang grenades thrown at them. And it's illegal of them to get in the way of the police batons that were crashing down on their heads and their bodies. People were killed by the police that day. Kent State, if you remember what Kent State was about, is nothing compared to the death that has followed on January 6th. The people that have been abused, ritually abused in prison. Fuck Washington, D.C. I'll never go there. I can't imagine what it would take for me to say, yeah, I'll go to Washington, D.C. I don't even care to entertain that fantasy. Why would I want to go there? Now, we're talking about Washington, D.C. McCarthy, Speaker of the House McCarthy, officially is rejecting the Democrats who want swallows well and shit my pants shitty Schiff. They want him, both of those idiots, on the House Intelligence Committee. Talk about a contradiction in terms. Talk about a conflict of interest, intelligence, and those two fucking clowns. Well, McCarthy has rejected that. Okay, fine, McCarthy. Where's the 14,000 hours in footage? He wants to reject these people. He went off on Schiff and Lefty and the reporters. Well, actually, he went off on what, Schiff? Okay, I don't care. I want the real fucking beef. Where's the impeachment of Biden for the crimes he's committed? Has anyone forgot all of our allies who were left behind in Afghanistan? The Afghan people themselves? How about the Americans, folks? Tens of thousands of American citizens working in Afghanistan as private contractors, in corporate jobs, for the military, who were just left behind by the Biden administration, who said, fuck you, and he pulled out of the country. He gave $85 billion in weapons to our enemies. He surrendered our bases to the enemies who now have those weapons, which include tanks, helicopters, rockets, drones, explosives, all of which can be made into EIDs, sold around the world and used on Americans and our military. Biden, where's the impeachment? McCarthy, you chicken shit. I don't care about these fucking little guys. Of course, Swallows Well and Shitty Shift should not be anywhere on any committee because they are just abject anti-American losers and liars. Where's the beef, McCarthy? I want impeachment. And I know that the Senate won't convict him. I know it. But fucking impeach the guy. He's earned it. Right? If anything has happened, folks, that son of a bitch has earned it. Okay. Steam out. Okay, folks. Let's I want to get to your questions. And I know I came on early, so we don't have as many questions stacked up yet, unless Ooh-Man has been doing just that. I've been thanks, man. I've been going just nonstop the whole day. I've tuned up the prepared mind. I work all day, starting at 0 dark 30. I get home, I do this with you guys, and then I study all night. I do take enough time to eat. I try and get the proper rest. But folks, there's so much to do, and I'm getting stronger by the fucking day. These people can't defeat me. Fuck them. We need to all stand up and be strong. Right? We do. But let's do this. Let's take a look here. That's right. Let's take a wild freaking guess. Oh, yeah, Dr. Fauci. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I'm getting stronger by the day. But here we have a super athlete, an Australian Olympian who is a bobsledder. Not only a bobsledder, but a rugby player. Folks, I played rugby as a Marine. I played the Cherry Point Ruggers. That was our team name. And it is nothing like American football. The only thing that is similar is the similarly shaped ball. Right? It's not pointy. You can't really throw it the same way. It's a big, fat, oblong ball. But you run around without pads or helmets, and you just slaughter and clobber everyone while they're clobbering the shit out of you for 80 fucking minutes. Your heart feels like it's gonna just pound out of the chest because you're just running and playing. It's great. It is the most difficult sport I've ever played. So this Australian, who is a bobsledder, okay, super athlete there, but also a rugby player, super athlete, folks, died. Suddenly dies, age 35. Folks, the strongest I ever was at age 39. I lifted my last Atlas stone as a strong man at age 40. But still, you're not an old person in your 30s. The most strong men win the world's strongest man contest, strongman titles in their 30s and even in their 40s. You're just starting to hit your most powerful athletic years. To say that, well, you're in your 30s and you're done. No, this guy's still a super fucking athlete. Dead. Suddenly. I see what's going on. I just know what is coming, folks. And everything we predicted is happening. People are getting sick. People are weak. People are having strokes. People are having blood clots. People are having heart attacks. People's hearts are enlarging. They're short of breath. They can't fucking think straight. They're losing their minds. And they're not. Shh. Elon Musk came out and goes, I've been fucking sick. We've had other people come out and say, since I've gotten that shit, I've been nothing but sick and feeling like crap. What have I told you? I'm getting stronger every fucking day. Yes, I am. Did I take that crap? Hell no, I didn't take that Jim Jones crap. Pure blood all the way. But they want you to take it. They're trying to push it on everyone. until you suddenly dead. I'm surprised the government doesn't go to people's homes that died and said, hey, how dare you die, right? We need you to take some more of this shit. But it's like, hey, fucking dad is already dead. Mom is already dead. What do you want, right? Well, we got five Jim Jones juice to hand out. So you kids are going to have to take double now because Pfizer needs their money. Unbelievable, folks. Oh, get your questions in. I know I need to get to them. Okay, let's do this. Oh, man, have we got a question available? Yes, it is Bonnie Blue 2A. She says, warning on the new BATFE. That's the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives. Their new rule on braces for AR-style pistols. Do not register to get the SBR waiver without the tax stamp. It is an entrapment scheme. Just make your pistol with brace legal. So Bonnie continues. She says, by the new rule, by adding a longer barrel or removing, destroying the brace, best is to urge Congress to overturn this BATFE rule entirely. Now, here's my thing. I will not tell anyone to do anything illegal. I'm not going to tell anyone not to follow the law. I'm going to tell everyone to follow the law. We have a law, folks. The law of the land is the United States Constitution. So, let me do this. The United States Constitution. All righty. The Second Amendment is a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. That is the law of the land. The Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives is not the law of the land. They are bureaucracy interpreting statute. But still, they have guns and badges, and they'll come to your house and kick down your fucking door and haul you off to prison if they don't put a bullet in the back of your head before you get there. So my recommendation is to make your weapons legal, whatever that takes. That keeps you out of trouble, whatever it takes. This is why people in California made those ridiculous California-style ARs so they weren't in violation. Now, I never had to do that because I know the law. I want you to know the law as well. You have to believe it and you have to live it as much as you love it. This is how tyrants win, folks. They come after you. They try and destroy your life by destroying your law. The thing that you love most, your freedom and your liberty. That's why people like Adam Schiff, as he's taken one on a daily basis from fruitcakes, taking it so hard his eyes are bugging out his head. He doesn't give a shit about our country. In fact, he fucking hates it. Swallowswell hates this country. Adam Kipsinger, or whatever the fuck his name is in Illinois, pile of shit rhino, hates America. McConnell hates America. Kevin McCarthy, I think, hates America. Any of these rhino pieces of shit hate America. The only thing keeping them from coming after us with Nazi, Stasi, KGB-style agents is the fact that we have guns, folks, a Second Amendment. That is the only thing keeping the wolves at the door from entering. Literally, that's it. Bonnie Blue says, the busting down of doors is exactly what's going to happen with an application to register. 88-day passes equals denial and initiates enforcement measures by the BATFE, according to Bonnie Blue. I don't have a pistol brace. I don't have a weapon. I have a constitutional right to keep and bear arms. I have a God-given right to defend myself and to protect the state in which I live. Washington, D.C. is not a state in which I live. Let me repeat that. I don't live in Washington, D.C. That exclusive jurisdiction defined under Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 of the Constitution, has nothing to do with the geographic area in which I live as a de jure American citizen. Enough legal talk. Let's fucking continue with the show. This was interesting today. This is a little aside that bothered me. I read that a Las Vegas judge committed suicide after facing an ethics probe for demanding an investigation into an alleged sex trafficking ring. This judge's name was Andres Tobiasen. She resigned in an attempt to avoid a complicated ethics investigation because she attempted to rescue her daughter from being allegedly sex trafficked. Just what the fuck is this all about? Right? She was trying to protect her daughter. Andres Tobiasen reached out to local law enforcement and was warning them about a store owner at the time who reputedly, allegedly, was using his authority and power to recruit and harass young girls until they were captured in a sex trafficking scheme and then turned into prostitutes. Las Vegas, I guess that's possible, huh? Now, the judge claimed that she got nowhere with the police. So she reached out to federal investigators. Bad, judge, bad. How dare you violate the rules with regard to this? Interesting, right? The federal investigators, it resulted in Nevada's Judicial Discipline Commission launching an investigation into her for breaching judicial rules. This is a very strange case, folks, where a judge is trying to do something to protect an individual. So you aren't, as a human being, allowed to protect your family because you have a government job. It's fascinating how these government job schemes work, right? Joe Biden uses the power of his job to help his son not get investigated, looked at, examined, or prosecuted for his crimes. But just a regular little judge, I guess. I guess that's how this works. Or could it be that in Las Vegas, sex trafficking young women is part of the elitist game that they play there? Because, you know, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Does the World Economic Forum? Does Gil Bates? Does Jeffrey Epstein's cartel have a couple of suites, a couple of floors at any of the high-dollar hotels there, like the Bellagio, where they keep their young fillies for their fruitcake politicians to shall we say, philander around, play with, so they can catch them on film and use that to own them? How is it that Marjorie Taylor Greene, folks, was so staunchly pro-American, so anti-bullshit, so pro-patriotic that she flipped seemingly in a day and sides now with fucking piece of shit McCarthy? Yeah, she's still trying to say, you know, patriotic things now, the same way McCarthy is. But I don't trust any of these people. I mean, I'll tell you what, I like the idea of Matt Gaetz giving everyone hell. I don't trust him because he has power. I don't trust any of these fuckers because they have power. I don't trust anyone, not a single one of them. Do you? Do you trust these people? They may say the right words, but would they turn on you in an instant? Would you find out that they actually are just a bunch of scumbags playing a game? It's what a lot of people think these days. It's what a lot of people think, is we're all being played in this sick fucking opera where they all sing and dance and put on a show for us, or put on a show for themselves. But they truly, truly don't give a shit. And it's just a big stage managed play. All right, man, have we got anything? I've got some more stuff I want to get into. Crazy world. And I know a lot of people just want to love Trump. They need a hero. They need a savior so bad they can't help themselves. They really do. Just crazy. Absolutely crazy. Wow. Just a big, fat wow. Germany really wants to join World War III. They do. Right? Their foreign minister says, quote, "We are fighting a war with Russia." What do you think Russia thinks when they hear that translated into Russian? We are fighting a war with Russia. They're admitting, folks, exactly what they're doing. We just don't have Germans in uniform on the front lines, at least not yet. I don't trust these people, folks. Right? McCarthy wants to sound like he's on our side. No swallows well. No Schiff. You're not allowed in these committees. I'm Kevin McCarthy, and hear me roar. Well, guess what else he says? Right? McCarthy says that if the Congressional Ethics Committee finds that Republican George Santos broke the law, he will be removed from Congress. George Santos is the Republican congressman who may have embellished his resume in getting elected. I don't know, is lying against the law? If that's the case, then sure, get rid of George Santos, the lying little fuck. But then you need to get rid of Nancy Pelosi, AOC, Rashid Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, Swallowswell, Eric. Get rid of Adam Kipling, Kiss Ass. Get rid of Nonads Nadler. If that's the case, you got to get rid of all of these people for lying, including Joe Biden, who can't tell a fucking decent story about his life without embellishing it. I think if you ask him, he'll tell you he was the first president. And you know, it's just been a while since he's been in office. Unbelievable. Right? Unbelievable. The Guardian. I don't know if you guys know of The Guardian. It's another publication. On January 15th, it published a piece, right? Cerveza bug. People aren't taking this seriously. Experts say U.S. cerveza bug surge is a big risk. People aren't taking this seriously. Why the fuck should they? It wasn't what they said it was last time, and they destroyed lives and businesses. They tried taking over this country. I don't take anything the government says seriously, except when they say we're going to violate your rights, screw you over, steal your money, and fuck you up. This is where we're at, folks. Are you prepared? Chance favors the prepared mind. Food, water, shelter, clothing, medicine, means of self-defense with your plan. I checked in early. If you came in what appears to be late, well, improvise, adapt, overcome. Sometimes I'm going to show up early. I always have a good reason, but I want to thank you guys for the support. Rewind this video back to the very beginning and start, because this whole video, this whole presentation that we did together has been action-packed with what the hell is going on, and a generous helping of SHTF. I'll see you guys at 0 Dark 30 tomorrow. Godspeed. God bless America. Chance favors the prepared mind. Aren't you glad you are a prepper? Whew. What a day. Unbelievable. It's going to happen again tomorrow. I'll see you then.